Warning, this program is entirely fictional and made by a sole Canadian man. All characters and events in the show, including the host, even those that are based on real people, are entirely fictional. The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
America. The land of the free. Home of the brave. And the stupid. And the criminally insane.
But my friends call me Woozie.
The United States has seen its fair share of gangbangers, mobsters, and psychotics who've roamed our beloved streets, causing untold chaos, destruction, and corruption. Tonight on Grand Theft Auto Biographies. Gambling, racing, and robbing. Tonight we will be examining an infamous Chinese-American businessman, a miraculously talented driver, and a natural gang leader, all rolled into one eccentric and occasionally violent package. We will follow the criminal exploits of one man determined to do right by his people, while making a neat and considerable profit, and his journey from the second fiddle triad in San Fierro to casino owner on the fabulous Venturas Strip. We will see unlikely friendships form, rival gangs defeated, and a mafia casino robbed, as we document the known criminal history of San Fierro's own Woozie, aka Woozie. This episode of Grand Theft Auto Biographies brought to you by my incredible supporters on Patreon. My goal for this channel is to be 100% fan-funded, allowing me to cover whatever I want without having to rely on AdSense and appeasing the copyright gods. If you want to help this channel, you can donate below with the paypal.me link in the description, the YouTube thanks button below the video, or you can sign up on patreon.com/GuinnessWalker and get early access to all of my work, access to all of the music from my shows and permission to reuse them in your own work, a download catalog of every video produced for the channel, access to the patron-only Discord server for weekly game nights/movie nights with me, and your name in the credits. Help me reach my Season 3 goal so I can continue producing shows for you guys for a long time to come. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the show. Effectively nothing is known for a certainty about Woozie's early life, but some assumptions regarding his early years can be made based on what little information we were able to obtain. It isn't entirely clear if Woozie was born in the United States or China, but given his accent, it seems at least likely that he spent the majority, if not all of his youth, in America, possibly in the Bayside city of San Fierro San Andreas, where he would eventually set up shop alongside several other triad groups in the state. Who Woozie's parents were, his motivations for joining or forming a San Fierro triad, or his reasons for taking to organized crime, however, all remain unknown, with his first and last known interactions with the law taking place in the magical year of 1992. It seemed that by 92, Woozie was in his early 30s or late 20s, which would place his birth date sometime in the early to late 1960s, but as is so often typical on this program, no official birth records could be obtained from any hospitals in the whole of San Andreas, leaving the question of his birth nation ambiguous. Despite all the things that Woozie would go on to do, he was amazingly completely blind, presumably since birth, though it's possible he gradually lost use of his vision or had some type of accident which induced his blindness. Whatever the case, he rarely spoke about his condition, which he seemed both ashamed of and proud of simultaneously. Blind or not, though, Woozie was gifted with what his triad dubbed natural good fortune, which allowed him to do many things that one might otherwise assume were practically impossible for a blind man, such as playing cards, or more often, racing cars. At some point in his life, Woozie would develop a love for that great American machine, the automobile, and quickly become interested in San Fierro's underground racing scene. He would participate in presumably dozens of races over the years, in and around San Fierro, Red County, and possibly Whetstone, alongside many of the city's most talented street drivers, including famous contractor Claude and his girlfriend at the time, Catalina. By the early 90s, Woozie would not only be a skilled street racer, but the official boss of his own triad organization in San Fierro, the Mountain Cloud Boys, albeit subservient to the Red Gecko Tong Triad, headed by Ron Fa Li. Woozie's official title within the triad would be Dai Dai Lo, or Big Big Brother according to our in-house translation team, which signified his position as second in command of all affiliated triad groups, under only the more experienced Chinese-born Ron Fa Li. As boss of the Mountain Cloud Boys, Woozie would oversee the establishment of, and maintenance of, an off-track betting shop in San Fierro's Chinatown district, as well as coordinate all other criminal enterprises that the Triads had their hands in across the state. Sometime in 1992, Woozie would meet notorious gangbanger Carl C.J. Johnson, while racing against Johnson's future brother-in-law, Cesar Villalpando, in the Red County racing circuits. Cautious, but always eager to make new allies, especially talented ones, Woozie would introduce himself directly to Carl and wish him good luck in the race. But given his reluctance to disclose his blindness, he would at least initially come off as an eccentric and possibly dangerous man, whose lack of predictability put CJ and Cesar on edge.
Man, where is this guy? Hey, I've been waiting forever, man. Where the hell you been?
Sorry, Holmes. I had no idea when the race would be.
Right, you just happened to show up 5 minutes after everybody else, huh?
When the gasoline runs through your vein like the burning passion, you know when it's time to race.
I think you're getting high on that country air, man.
Hey, CJ, look.
You haven't been to one of our meets before. Where you from, friend?
I'm from Grove Street Families, Los Santos. What's happening?
Relax. This isn't a parade, pal. But you know, we gotta be careful. Woozie Moo. But my friends call me Woozie. How you doing?
CJ. Carl Johnson.
Listen, out here we like to race for cash or pink slips. Racer's choice. Get your car started. We're about to go. Good luck, Carl Johnson.
There's something real strange about that dude, man.
Be careful, CJ.
For sure.
Eventually, however, the three would become good friends, especially Woozie and Carl after 2 separate races across the uneven hills of Red County. Seeing great potential in making an ally of the clearly very skilled CJ, Woozie would present Carl with his official business card for contacting him in San Fierro, and leave Carl with the idea of meeting up again in the future to work together in their shared criminal exploits.
Ooh, yeah!
You drive with style, Carl Johnson. And I never mind losing to a guy who's willing to push himself right to the edge. As for me, I'm a man who honors his bet.
Well, you learn pretty fast with the police on your ass.
Listen, it's best if we clear the hell out of here as soon as possible, because for some reason the local police don't appreciate our noble sport.
Yeah, thanks for the advice.
Okay, I gotta go. You know what? If you ever find yourself in San Fierro, give me a call. Maybe we can do a little business together.
Hey, I might just do that.
I guess that's our wake-up call. Nice meeting you.
Though Woozie wouldn't know it at the time, he would be cultivating one of, if not the most, profitable relationship with the state's up-and-coming gangster entrepreneur in Carl Johnson. While operating his triad out of the San Fierro betting shop in Chinatown, he would eventually catch word, likely from Cesar Villalpando, of CJ's arrival in the city, and their plans to set up a chop shop in Doherty, as well as slowly work to infiltrate and destroy a drug-dealing syndicate that Carl had personal gripes with, the Loco Syndicate. Using the Triad's vast knowledge of organized crime in San Fierro, Woozie and his right-hand man Guppy would visit CJ's Doherty garage to begin helping him with the syndicate, starting with the most important part of any good plan, gathering information.
That's crazy, man. What are you looking at exactly?
Hey, man, you get them flicks developed? What's up, Woozie?
Hey, Carl. I was just explaining to your brother-in-law that we were friends.
Oh, yeah? Well, look, Woozie, I need to get some info from you, man.
What exactly do you boys want to know?
Who are these putas, Holmes?
Why don't you go take a look?
These guys?
Yeah.
They're the Loco Syndicate. They're pretty big time, I think. Don't have any dealings with them. We don't touch blow. Now this guy runs things. I don't know his name. This guy is T-Bone Mendez. He's the muscle.
And who's that guy?
That's Jizzy B. He's the biggest pimp in town. He helps set up the deals. You know, concierge of sorts.
Hey, then he my way in. How I get to him?
Oh, Jizzy? Jizzy runs the Pleasure Domes Club in that old fortress under the Gant Bridge.
Hey, good looking out, Woozie.
No problem. Don't be a stranger.
All right.
Using their information, CJ would introduce his services to Jizzy B, and slowly begin to earn his trust in order to properly screw him over when the time was right. In the meantime, CJ would also take the opportunity to make good on his obligations to help Woozie after helping him with the Loco Syndicate, by working with his triad, the Mountain Cloud Boys, to maintain control of their vast criminal empire.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Carl, it's Woozie. Hey, if you got some time, I'd like for you to come over so we can talk about something.
Yeah, for sure. Where you at?
I own a little betting shop in Chinatown. Just come around and introduce yourself. My people will be expecting a visit.
It's a plan, man. Later.
All right, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Kick ass, man.
We're closed, Puckeye.
Easy, man. I'm here to see Woozie.
Oh, upstairs.
Stupid ass motherfucker.
Come on, Birdstone. Come on, go. Come on, you can do it.
I'm Johnson. I'm here to see Woozie. I work with him.
You suck.
Yes, right this way. You know of the boss's curse?
Curse? Nah.
He's blind.
Blind? But we was just racing cars last week.
Yes, I know. He's blessed with unbelievable good fortune. And the triad that would do anything for him? We call him our lucky mole.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
Woozie!
Hello, Carl.
Hey, what's happening, Woozie? How you doing?
Straight to the facts. I can't use your help unless I'm open with you about who I am and what I do. Let me reintroduce myself. I am the boss of the Mountain Cloud Boys.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Why don't you sit down? As Daidai of the Triad, it is my responsibility to see that disputes are settled without damaging important business.
Where I come in at?
We shall see. I'm about to drop in on a local triad that failed to show face at the last Tong meeting. Come with me, and you'll see how we triads settle things without recourse to unnecessary violence.
Alright, I'll ride with you.
Being a loyal friend for the most part, CJ would happily assist Woozie and his triad any way he could. Needing to check up on a group of Bloodfeather triads who missed out on one of the last Tong meetings, a gathering of Chinese organizations both legitimate and illegitimate for cooperative benefit, the two would set out to get answers, but with the recent arrival of Vietnamese gangs attempting to muscle in on triad businesses, Woozie would be notably nervous.
The Bloodfeather Triad have a storehouse around the block. We shall see what excuses they have to offer.
Okay, so what's all this talk of business?
Some small-time Vietnamese gangs have been making trouble lately. We're not sure why they're gaining any courage now, but I'm nervous about the situation.
How do I fit in all of this?
You're an outsider. This is a place. Come on, it's this way.
Upon arriving at the Bloodfeather warehouse, Woozie and Carl would initially be greeted with a panicked crowd, fleeing the scene. Although with Woozie's impaired vision, he wouldn't immediately notice the trouble, even if he sensed something was wrong.
Ah, we're here. This way. Strange, this gate is usually locked. Stick close.
Oh, man. Woozie.
What's got you so spooked? Oh, sorry. Didn't see you lying down there.
He's dead. They all are.
The Bloodfeather's wiped out?
Lo, forgive me. I was too scared to fight, so I hid.
Enough. What happened here?
Vietnamese surprised us, cut us all down. Shit! Here they come again!
Having already wiped out the entire Bloodfeather triad, the Vietnamese gang, the Da-Nang Boys, would ambush Woozie and CJ in the alley and attempt to cut down the Mountain Cloud Boys' boss, but with Carl backing him up, the two would manage to safely escape the attack, to regroup at the betting shop.
We got more company.
Now more precisely aware of the threat gangs like the Da-Nang boys pose to the Triad's control of Asian organized crime, Woozie would meet with the Shuk Fu, or most senior Triad member in San Fierro and head of the Red Gecko Tong directly above the Mountain Cloud boys, Ran Fa Li. With CJ's assistance now a guarantee thanks to the mutual aid between he and Woozie, Ran Fa Li would employ Carl to retrieve a vitally important package from Easter Bay Airport. Though exactly what this package contained or how it helped to serve the Tong leader or Woozie remains unclear.
Hey, Woozie, my man, what's going down?
Hey, CJ. Let me introduce you to Shuk Fu, Ran Fa Li. He heads the Red Gecko Tong on the west coast.
How you doing?
Ah Kung has sent word from Kowloon. A Vietnamese crime family, the Da-Nang boys, are preparing to move to the United States. This may explain the cowardly attack on the blood-feathered Triad. There may be some trouble ahead.
The Shifu would like a package retrieved. A courier has left it in a drop at the airport. It is most important to the matter at hand.
Oh, I can do that.
He is Triad? A mountain boy?
No, a personal friend of mine. And less likely to draw the attention of the Da-Nang boys.
Okay.
Thanks for your support.
Ran Fa Li would lounge around Woozie's apartment above the betting shop, playing video games and generally seeming unfazed by the very real threat the Da-Nang boys were to both him and the rest of the San Fierro Triads. When Woozie expresses a desire to be proactive in their moves against the Da-Nang, Ran Fa Li would insist that he'd been followed to the Mountain Cloud Boys' base of operations, and that any attempt to leave would result in an inevitable assassination attempt. Thankfully, Carl's natural criminal problem-solving skills would kick in, and he would suggest a classic strategy to keep the Red Gecko Tong leader safe while he carried the heat far away.
As honored as I am to share my home with you, we should lure these lizards out into the baking sun.
We were followed here. The Da-Nang boys are watching this apartment. As soon as we leave, they will attempt an assassination.
Hey, what's the big deal? Why don't you cruise on out of here, lead them to a place quiet, and cap they flat asses? No offense.
None taken.
We find you funny.
Look, long as they think Mr. Farley here is in the back, they'll follow me wherever. After a while, you can come out safely. Simple.
Amazing.
Your success will be rewarded, Mr. Johnson.
More than happy to use Carl's skills as a driver and a seemingly neutral party to the Asian organized crime outfits in the city due to his being black, Ran Fa Li would remain inside the betting shop, while CJ left the building in a rancher to lure the Da-Nang boy assassins all the way to the countryside.
Mr. Johnson, it's Guppy. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's nothing. They took the bait like morons. Mr. Ran Fa Li, get out all right?
Yes, Woozie has taken him to safety. Thank you.
Cool. I'll see you later, man.
Decoy! Back to Chinatown!
In between serious work for the Mountain Cloud boys on Woozie's part, or managing his garage on CJ's part, the two would find time to genuinely bond, playing video games together at Woozie's apartment and becoming friends through their mutual respect for each other. During one such casual hangout, Woozie would pry Carl to see if he would be capable of helping with the next move against the Da-Nang boys, but for once, CJ would be out of his depth, pun intended, at least initially.
I need something taken care of.
What? Hey, man, quit trying to distract me.
How are you in the water?
What you mean? Can I swim?
Yeah. Can you swim well?
No, I can't. Shit! Man, damn! How you do that?
However, being a determined man and general jack of all trades, especially criminal ones, Carl would take the opportunity to train himself in the water, despite his own fears of swimming, going back to his days as a kid swimming by the Santa Maria Pier.
Hold on. You trying to tell me you can't swim?
Seriously, when I'm in the deep water, it panics me. Plus, I'm terrified of eels and squid and seaweed and...
Okay, dude, see, I know you're just trying to make excuses now.
Look, CJ, I need someone from outside the Triad who I can trust.
Alright, so let me get this straight. You want me to swim around in dirty dock water, dodging little brown jelly beans and Vietnamese gangsters to put a bug on a boat in the harbor?
You're so negative.
Listen, man. When I was a kid, swimming off the Santa Maria, I once got a condom stuck to my face. Horror like that stays with you for life. Believe that.
I have a confession to make. I'm blind.
No shit.
Yeah. Although I've trained my other senses to a point where you wouldn't notice my handicap, in the water, they'd be quite useless.
All right, Woozie, relax. Don't beat yourself up about it. Look, I'll do it. One last thing. You do know that I'm black, right? And not Chinese.
I'm blind, Carl, not stupid.
Summoning all of his courage, CJ would somewhat reluctantly agree to help Woozie in planting a bug on the Da-Nang boys' own ship docked in San Fierro Bay. While the job itself may have been difficult for even the most well-trained divers, Carl would somehow manage to pull it off with minimal resistance, remaining unseen as he snuck aboard the tanker to give the Mountain Cloud boys an opportunity to finally get ahead of their rivals. Now able to listen to Da-Nang conversations to glean a possible advantage, Woozie and the Mountain Cloud boys would instead learn, perhaps unsurprisingly, that the Vietnamese gangsters were arriving in San Fierro with a substantial cargo of refugees, something it seemed both Woozie and CJ both strongly objected to. Having already helped the Triad substantially up to that point, Carl wouldn't hesitate to volunteer in helping Woozie's men to finish the fight, and keep the Da-Nang boys from making their move into America permanent.
Woozie, my man.
CJ, you caught me on my way out.
Business?
This is the big one. This is the one that is going to seal my place in the Red Gecko Tong. But something's come up, and I gotta sort things out myself. Excuse me. Little Lion, what's the news? Damn! Why today, of all days? Okay, shit. Take Guppy and go check it out.
Trouble?
The Da-Nang boys are arriving today on a container ship. Little Lion's gone to check it out. I really gotta go too.
Hey man, look, don't even trip. I'ma handle this for you, alright?
Thanks, my friend. Your help and friendship has been invaluable to me.
Thanks, man. What are other guys?
Oh, they're getting a helicopter to do a couple of flybys of the ship. Look, if everything goes well, I'll call you in a week or so and invite you to my new spot.
Woozie himself wouldn't accompany Carl, Little Lion, or the other Triads to the freighter, but thanks to CJ's unique skill set, it would hardly matter, as he pushed his way through Da-Nang gangsters to reach the freighter's hull and rescue the refugees. Carl would even kill the Da-Nang boys' leader, known only as the Snakehead, and effectively halt the gang's plans to move to America, at least temporarily, and subsequently help Woozie solidify his position in the Red Gecko Tong.
Please! The Snakehead tricked us! We're prisoners! Please help us escape! The Snakehead is up on the bridge!
With the Da-Nang boys eliminated, at least for now, Woozie would be prepared to make his next big move, literally, by relocating his Triad center of power to the fabulous city of Las Venturas, to open a Triad-controlled casino, the Four Dragons, on the famous Venturas Strip. Before the move, however, Woozie would follow through on his promise to help Carl dismantle the Loco Syndicate. He would send Triad reinforcements to CJ and Caesar when ambushing the Syndicate at Pier 69, and later help Carl to track down the last remaining figurehead, mysterious G-Man Mike Torino, as he supposedly attempted to flee the city.
Carl, it's Woozie. I've got some information for you.
Hey Woozie, what's the business?
My man found that van you were looking for by the helipad downtown.
In Torino?
Yep, he's there. Apparently he's about to take some merchandise and cut out by helicopter. They've already started loading boxes.
Something about Torino don't add up. Holler back if you hear something.
Although Woozie's information on Torino would technically be accurate, neither would know at the time that CJ only eliminated a stand-in, as Carl would go on to work for Torino when the truth of his affiliations was revealed. Before learning of Torino's survival, though, CJ and Woozie would work together one final time in San Fierro to coordinate an attack on the Loco Syndicate's drug factory on the south side of town, using Woozie's knowledge of the criminal operations in the area.
You're going soft on me, man. You did something good, eh?
Yes, you did. But this isn't over yet.
What you mean?
Well, your former friends have a factory. And the way I see it, if you take that out, you will have put them out of business for good.
Yeah.
CJ,
Who is this?
I work for Woozie. He told me to call you.
Alright, what's up?
I'm rigging a car with explosives so you can take out the crack factory. Drop around the garage downtown.
Cool. I'll be at you in a minute.
With all of their Bayside City loose ends wrapping up neatly, Woozie, Ranfa Lee, and a significant portion of the Mountain Cloud Boys would migrate to Las Venturas and begin setting up their casino. But Woozie would have one other party in mind that he wanted to bring in on the casino venture, who had been an invaluable asset to the Triad in their San Fierro operation. That party was, of course, Carl Johnson himself.
Hello?
Carl, it's Woozie.
Hey, Woozie, man. What you been up to?
Come along and see for yourself. I got a little business proposition for you. Come over and see the setup, my friend.
Okay, for sure. I like that.
Like it? You're gonna love it. It's the Four Dragons Casino in Las Venturas. I'll see you soon, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
But running a casino is never easy, and especially when that casino faces immense pressure from established organized crime outfits in the game who rarely take to new competition with a smile and a handshake. While attempting to set up the Four Dragons and perform all the necessary preparations for the grand opening, Woozie would quickly learn just how difficult it was going to be to run their business with the mafia-run Caligula's Palace up the road, looking to squeeze any new players for every penny they had. With equipment being destroyed, his employees being harassed, and just general chaos while getting things ready, Carl's arrival in Venturas couldn't have come at a better time for Woozie, who would reveal exactly what his offer to CJ entailed, should he be interested.
Idiot! Do you realize how much those machines cost? We're supposed to be opening it. What the fuck was that? Hello? Hello? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Boss, CJ's here.
Carl, glad you can make it.
So, that's what you've been doing?
Yeah, it's been a complete nightmare. You want a stomach ulcer? Try opening a Triad casino in a mafia-run town.
The mob trying to squeeze you?
Yeah, the corporations are moving in and everybody's feeling the squeeze. I've had slot machines busted up, workmen being scared off.
So who behind this?
Huh? Well, there are these three mob families operating here, and each of them has a stake in Caligula's casino. And some whacked-out lawyer's running it for them. You could be any one of them, or all of them.
Can't you just give them a little something?
No. In addition to the usual authorities that need bribing, each one would want a slice. And I'm not about to hand over all our profits to some wise guy Italians.
Our profit?
That's right, you heard me. I want to offer you a share in our casino. In exchange for some help setting it up. How's that sound, partner?
Sound like we got a deal then.
Boss, the boys found some thugs trying to smash one of the deliveries. We caught one of them.
Get rid of him.
Hey, wait, hold up, come here. Whoever's behind this, we need to let them know that they dealing with full-fledged psychos. Tie him to the front of the car, let him sweat it out a little, and I'll be out there in a little while. See if we can make this guy squeal.
That's my Carl.
Using his knack for intimidation, CJ would have the thief tied to the hood of a car, which he proceeded to drive dangerously around town until the man gave up his associations. CJ would learn that the party responsible for attempting to jack their shipments was the Sindaco family, and quickly returned to the Four Dragons to tell Woozie what he'd learned. Knowing that directly competing with the three powerful mafia families who already had an established presence in the city would be next to impossible, CJ, the aspiring criminal mastermind, would devise a plan to counteract the mob's hostile action, by hitting them where it hurt the most, their wallets.
Ha ha ha! The glorious sound of a hole-in-one.
Great shot, boss.
Thanks.
Not bad, Woozie.
So, the Sindako family was behind the attempts to sabotage our venture. I wonder why it's only them and not the others.
Probably ain't just them. Rule of the streets, don't snitch. What we need is to hit the Mafia casino. Yeah, go jack the place.
Hey, hitting a casino isn't like gangbanging. It's a whole different league.
Yeah, you right. It'll take some planning, but I'm down. She always wanted to pull a heist. What the?
Ah, bad luck. Listen, you're gonna need a crew and some special equipment.
Yeah, it'll take some explosives. Always gotta blow up shit to pull a heist.
You know what? There's an open cast mine southwest of the city limits. They must have explosives.
I'll go peep it out.
After pitching his idea of a casino heist to Woozie, CJ would begin to concoct his master plan, beginning with obtaining explosives for, at the time, unspecified purposes, knowing that at some point something was going to need to blow up. Woozie would continue to oversee the day-to-day operations of the Four Dragons as the heist began to take shape, purchasing machines, hiring staff, and dealing with continued Mafia incursions, biding his time for the perfect revenge. One such incursion that would require immediate attention would be when the existence of counterfeit casino chips becomes apparent. Knowing the Sindako family owned a plastics factory across town, Woozie would immediately be suspicious of them producing the fake chips, but an always proactive Carl would once again volunteer to handle the situation himself.
Hit me.
Are you sure, man?
Yeah, I'm going for a 5-card hand. Come on.
Okay. Here. I'm a stick. What you got?
How would I know? You tell me.
Not good, man. You got 47.
Damn. You're bad luck for me, you know? When I play the other guys, I always win.
Boss, take a look at these 2 chips.
One's a fake.
That's amazing. You didn't even touch him.
No, I just took a guess. Why else would he come in with 2 chips and sound so worried? You take a look.
Oh yeah, the dragon on this got the sunglasses and a white stick.
Insolent bastards!
I'll make sure the cashiers are extra vigilant.
It's obvious where these chips are coming from. The Sindako family owns a plastics factory across town. I'm gonna blow it to shit!
Man, look, don't trip. I got you on this.
After successfully destroying the Sindako factory, Carl would coincidentally stumble onto the perfect opportunity to conduct sabotage when an unlikely contact connects him with the former mob lawyer running Caligula's for the 3 Liberty City families, Ken Rosenberg.
Hey, Woozie, I think I found a way to scope Caligula's casino without causing too much suspicion. We can talk later.
Before their plans could be realized, however, there remained the official matter of making Woozie, Ranfali, and CJ partners in the casino on paper.
Mr. Ranfali. Gentlemen, can I have your marks, please? Gentlemen, or shall I say partners?
Oh, I drank to that.
With their partnership finally official, Woozie and Carl would begin planning one of the most elaborate and notorious casino robberies the state had ever seen. Luckily for Woozie, among Carl's many skill sets would be a natural talent for organizing just such a job. Perhaps having been raised on one too many bank robbery movies, CJ would insist on their meeting taking place in a secluded maintenance closet, despite the casino boss literally being one of the planners.
Woozie?
Oh, Carl.
You could at least turn the lights on.
Oh, I thought I had. But this window here must let some light in.
Yeah, this perfect right here. This what we gonna plan the heist at.
Anyone else coming?
Nah.
Couldn't we have done this in my office?
You gotta have a secret place to plan shit like this. That's just how it's done.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. So, what do we do?
I guess we gotta make a plan.
Speaking of plans, do you have the layout to Caligula's casino?
Shit. Nah. I guess I gotta go get one.
Meeting adjourned?
Meeting adjourned.
Leaving Woozie in the dark literally, but not metaphorically, CJ would obtain blueprints of the casino from the Las Venturas planning department, using his unique methods. With plan in hand, Carl would deliver them to Woozie and begin to pore over the details meticulously, to determine the most effective approach for pulling off such an ambitious heist. Thankfully, Woozie would be able to draw not on just Carl's skills, but on Carl's allies as well, specifically tech expert Zero, who had worked with Carl at his Doherty garage. Zero would send the casino team a card reader capable of bypassing any security system reliant on the, at the time, state-of-the-art technology. All they needed now was a card to clone.
Now, I know you blind, man, but you gotta see this.
Very clever. So what's the prognosis? Is this just going to be extremely difficult, or next to impossible?
Hear me out on this, homie. Alright, the cash room is on the bottom level. There's a bunch of rooms and a tunnel under the whole building with access to the casino floors at either end of the complex. Alright? Now, security consists of CCTV, a key code access, and in places, a swipe card.
Hey, are you pointing again?
Oh, my bad. Habit.
Don't worry. It's good practice for when we finally get a crew in on this.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, boss, this arrived for CJ.
Hey! Damn, man. Now we seen the plan.
Well, then we've got our first recruit. Come on in and shut the door.
Alright, cool. This the security card reader that Zero sent over. Now all we need to do is get one of those cards. Luckily, there's always one guaranteed weak link in any security setup: the human heart.
What happened next is the matter of some debate, as there are contradicting reports from the time which make it difficult to determine what really happened. According to some, Carl Johnson would court a Caligula's croupier, Millie Perkins, and seduce her in order to obtain her access card. However, there are also those who claim that in actuality, CJ murdered Perkins to expedite the process of breaking into Caligula's, with an alleged conversation between Carl and Woozie containing a half-hearted confession to this despicable act.
Hello?
What is the holdup with that security pass, CJ?
Man, there's been a slight setback.
Well, what kind of setback?
Well, more of an unfortunate accident. It's Millie. She dead.
What the fuck? How? When?
Well, we was hanging out and shit got fucked up. That's all I'm saying, man.
Well, her pass will probably be in her house. You gotta break in and get it.
Shit, you right. Hey, I'ma call you when I get the card.
Whether Millie Perkins was murdered for her card or was simply deceived long enough for Carl to steal it is anyone's guess, but what is known for certain is that CJ did obtain the card necessary for the team to continue with their established plan, by apparently any means necessary. Unsurprisingly, CJ's efforts to keep the heist plan a secret by meeting in a maintenance closet wouldn't work for very long, and eventually, half the staff at Four Dragons would wander into his and Woozie's meetings as their team continued to expand. While Carl headed out to plant explosive charges at Sherman Dam in order to cut the power to Caligula's during the heist, Woozie would hang back and attempt to explain the plan to their growing and increasingly pedestrian team of janitors, nerds, and triad gangsters.
It seemed impossible to keep a secret around here. I would have thought the size of the room would keep the numbers down.
Hey, speak up! We can't hear you back here!
I appreciate your input, but please, fuck off!
What'd he say?
He said fuck off. Come on, let's get out of here.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
I live here.
Oh, okay, you can stay.
Great.
Hey, where's the coffee and donuts?
Okay, look. I'm gonna go shut off the city's power source. Woozie, look after these fools for me.
Okay. Now, the important thing to remember with a plan like this is that nothing can go wrong.
The team's next objective would be to find a way into the casino itself, without arousing suspicion, and once again, Carl would be on top of things with a plan to steal several police motorcycles, and eventually, an armored truck, in order to pose as moneymen making a deposit during the heist. Still allowing Carl to take the lead on the heist planning, Woozie would continue to hang back, allowing his men such as Guppy to do the dirty work with Carl, while he held down the fort and kept things business as usual at the Four Dragons.
All right, Here's the plan. It's all about the art of deception. While I get as much heat on me as possible, y'all get away with the green.
Question, how does the Mafia normally move cash out of Caligula's?
Bingo. Stripes for Mr. Zero here.
Hey, good job, you little ass kisser.
Ow.
So, we gonna steal ourselves an armored car and respray it so it looks like one of the regular trucks.
What about the police escorts? Whenever they move cash around, they use police motorcycles as outriders.
Exactly what I was thinking. Come on, come with me, and we gonna go get some cop wheels.
One thing Woozie would do directly for the plan would be to obtain Caligula's casino uniforms for the team to facilitate their nonchalant entrance, although exactly how Woozie went about doing this is unknown. With the charges planted, uniforms and keycard obtained, and several LVPD motorcycles to escort the armored van, all they needed now was the van itself. Though Woozie proposed simply stealing one during its regular collection rounds, Carl would insist that getting the crew involved in a street theft of that magnitude would only incur unnecessary casualties, and the real solution would instead come by way of their tech expert, Zero.
Okay, we got the bikes, and Woozie taking care of the uniforms. Now we just gotta get an armored van and respray it with the Caligula's casino logo.
Why don't we steal one while it's on its rounds? That way we can make some money, too.
Nah, I don't want to get the crew caught up in some street-level jack, and it could get ugly.
I have an idea. Have you ever seen those helicopters they use to lift heavy loads?
Yeah, they call them sky cranes. We could lift the whole truck and take them to someplace safe.
Then we need to steal a sky crane. Unfortunately, I'm not a pilot.
Me neither.
Hey, don't look at me.
Or me.
Shit. I'll fly it then. We could respray it at the airstrip.
Yeah, Carl. It'll be just like fighting Berkeley, only bigger.
Yeah, thanks for that.
After stealing a sky crane to steal an armored car, the Four Dragons heist team would have everything they needed to stage their robbery. Woozie, Carl, Guppy, Zero, and the unnamed janitor of the Four Dragons, who apparently lived inside the building's maintenance closet, would suit up for one of the biggest heists in San Andreas history.
We all good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, see you at the back door. Let's roll.
Though of little practical help on the job itself, Woozie would nonetheless participate directly in the heist itself, attempting to maintain the guise of complete control while delegating directions to Guppy. Posing as a Caligula's staff member, CJ would effortlessly slip past security and proceed to the building's basement, to let Woozie and his men inside, where the real fun could begin.
Well done, Carl. Now it's time for us to do our part. Try to stay close. Okay, team. I've gone over the layout to this place so I know it back to front. Everybody follow me. Damn! The devious bastards have changed the layout!
Don't worry, I'll take the lead, boss.
Good idea. Everybody, follow him!
Upon arriving at the actual vault, Woozie would set the explosive charges while Guppy watched for incoming Mafia soldiers, and Carl went upstairs to ensure the backup generators remained off, after Zero leaked their plan to his arch-rival, Berkeley.
Not far now, keep alert.
Hey, I was just about to say that.
Sorry, boss.
Not far now, everybody.
Stay alert!
Oh yeah, stay alert!
The team would blast their way inside the vault, grab as much cash as their hands could carry, and return to their armored van and escort bikes, for an easy exit as Carl kept the casino's security squarely focused on him.
Okay, we'll set the charges while you watch the door.
Okay, boss.
Hey, I'm on it.
Hurry it up, gentlemen. They know something's wrong. Someone else is in the system.
Hey, what's the problem?
Somebody's trying to bring the emergency generators back up.
Okay, I'll head back up to the generator room and shut them down for good.
Everybody take cover! Oh shit, where do I go? Where do I go?
Fire in the hold!
Okay, people, load up the cash.
I've unloaded the police bikes.
Everybody in. You two, change into your police uniforms.
Carl would eventually manage to escape security and flee the scene in, of all things, a police maverick, meeting back up with Woozie and the rest of the team at Carl's Verdant Meadows airfield, east of the city. Although not as smooth a ride as it could have been thanks to Zero's ego, the team would nonetheless come away from the job as very rich men, and as an added bonus, the robbery would effectively kill the interests of both the Leone and Forelli crime families, who soon after pulled out of Caligula's entirely, with the operation presumably remaining exclusively under Sindaco control.
Zero, where you hide?
I didn't mean to tell Berkeley. It just kinda came out, is all.
Were you watching, you idiot? Hey, CJ, calm down. You better take me home, CJ.
After successfully running 2 out of the 3 mafia families out of Venturas, Woozie and his triads would comfortably remain in control of the now exponentially profitable Four Dragons Casino. Woozie would continue to oversee all the minute details of the casino itself, selecting talent, vetting his workers, dotting every I and crossing every T, to keep the business as usual. Woozie would also allow Carl Johnson's sister, Kendall, to assist as a talent manager as things finally seemed to settle down, at least temporarily, for the busy triad boss.
Don't hate the little man because he's packing a 6-shooter.
Oh, next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you know how much balls it takes to stand down here and sing a song like that? It takes guts.
I'm sorry. We're just looking for something with a little more mass appeal.
What could have more mass appeal than a song like Small but Perfectly Formed? Women want me. Men want to be like me. Assholes.
Oh.
Gotta be kidding me, right?
Damn. This casino game is hard work. I thought it was just a case of opening the doors and letting suckers give you their money.
If only.
You know what? I'm getting bored here. I'm trying to do business, not audition midgets.
People of reduced stature, you mean?
Yeah, I said that. All I know is when are we gonna get some real talent in here?
I heard that.
Woozie would assist Carl one final time in '92 that we are aware of, when he provided a team of triads, including the ever-effective Guppy, to storm the former Mad Dog Mansion, now controlled by the infamous drug dealer Big Papa, in order to return it to the disgraced rapper. Woozie would continue to presumably see both Carl and his sister Kendall for many years, but like the Johnson siblings, little to nothing is known about Woozie's life beyond the year that made him and his own famous among criminal circles the world over. Woozie Moo was an intelligent, charismatic, and unnaturally lucky Asian American gangster who was naturally talented in the art of organized crime management. Woozie adhered quite strictly to the values and rules of his associated triad and always respected the chain of command, showing nothing but appreciation and respect for the likes of Ron Fa Li. He was also himself a highly respected man who commanded loyalty from his subordinates through rational and calculated action rather than force or a rush to violence. That being said, Woozie was not without a temper, as he would occasionally display bouts of frustrated rage when provoked, though he rarely acted in violence himself unless absolutely necessary. Woozie was a loyal friend and, for a criminal, an overall trustworthy person, to those he considered friend and ally. He never hesitated to return a favor or pay back a debt he owed in spades. He intentionally kept his triad's business limited to what he believed to be less harmful vices, such as gambling, while refusing to evolve his organization in the cocaine trade or human trafficking, as was so often common in cities like San Fierro. However, Woozie was not above allowing at least some collateral damage in his business dealings, even occasionally civilians, so long as he could write off the tragedies as necessary evils, such as the alleged murder of Millie Perkins, though it's worth noting that this remains unconfirmed. Being blind, Woozie would to some extent constantly seek to prove himself as capable as any seeing man to both his triad and his personal friends. He seemed to be both embarrassed and proud of his own condition due to his reliance on others for certain daily tasks, while also displaying strangely adept skills in activities that might otherwise seem inaccessible to a blind man, such as his ability to play video games quite well. This natural talent, or luck, whatever one might call it, would be exaggerated by Woozie's subordinates, though it isn't clear if this was done by their own accord or on orders from Woozie himself to maintain his ego. However, we believe the former to be more likely. Although Woozie had a close friendship with Carl Johnson, beyond CJ, not much is known about Woozie's personal life. If he ever married, who his other friends might have been, or how he came to be the man he was before meeting Carl, are all a matter of debate. As far as we can tell, Woozie does not appear to have been married or romantically involved with anyone in '92, though it's entirely possible that the often private man kept such matters just that, private. All of this being said, Woozie was at the end of the day a gangster, and complicit in the deaths of many people, even if the majority of those people were other criminals caught up in the game. He was also responsible for operating both a betting shop and a casino, whose entire purpose was to deprive people of their money in games almost certain to significantly benefit the house, aka him. His organization, while uninvolved in human trafficking or cocaine distribution, was nonetheless responsible for numerous illegal operations in and around the state of San Andreas. He was certainly no angel, but as far as criminals go, he was hardly the dirtiest of the bunch. As the boss of a crime family, Woozie has no shortage of potential charges that could have been levied against him, although, as is all too common for subjects of this program, he was never apprehended for his numerous crimes. Whether or not he ever saw jail time in the United States or elsewhere, however, remains irrelevant to our investigative team, who will always seek to showcase just how many crimes go unpunished in this great nation. It is also worth noting, before examining the numbers we have on Woozie Moo, that these numbers only reflect his actions in 1992, and do not account for his likely many crimes before and since. With that out of the way, let's look at the crimes we believe Woozie was responsible for during his time in association with Carl Johnson, starting with illegal street racing when racing Carl Johnson and Claude in the Red County Circuit, accessory murder, and reckless endangerment when checking on the Bloodfeather Triad and fighting the Da-Nang boys, conspiracy accessory murder, accessory illegal surveillance, and accessory trespassing on private property when hiring CJ to sneak aboard the Da-Nang freighter and plant a bug, conspiracy accessory murder when hiring CJ to attack the Da-Nang freighter with Little Lion, conspiracy accessory murder when helping Carl to find and kill Mike Torino, even though it turns out to be a body double, conspiracy accessory murder, accessory terrorism, and accessory destruction of private property when making CJ aware of the Loco Syndicate factory and helping to plan its destruction, accessory torture/interrogation when allowing Carl Johnson to tie Johnny Sindako to the hood of his car and drive him around town to get him talking, conspiracy accessory murder, accessory trespassing on private property, accessory conspiracy to commit terrorism, and accessory theft when sending Carl to steal dynamite from Hunter Quarry, conspiracy accessory murder and conspiracy accessory terrorism when planning the destruction of the Sindako's plastics factory with CJ, conspiracy accessory murder, conspiracy trespassing on government property, accessory arson, and accessory destruction of government property when planning to steal the casino blueprints from the city planning department with Carl, alleged accessory murder and conspiracy accessory theft when planning the manipulation and possible murder of Millie Perkins with Carl, conspiracy to commit terrorism and conspiracy accessory murder when planning the infiltration of Sherman Dam by Carl in order to plant explosives on the generators, conspiracy accessory murder and accessory Grand Theft Auto when planning the theft of several police bikes for their heist, conspiracy accessory murder, accessory Grand Theft Aero, and accessory Grand Theft Auto when planning the theft of a sky crane and armored van with CJ, armed robbery, murder, and conspiracy accessory murder when breaking into Caligula's palace, robbing the vault, and escaping with a substantial take, and conspiracy accessory murder when providing Carl Johnson with reinforcements to take back Mad Dog's mansion from Big Papa. It should not come as a surprise to know that Woozie's rap sheet for his actions in '92 alone would have been more than enough to land him in prison for several lifetime sentences, if he'd been prosecuted to the full extent of the law. However, once again we must remind you that as gang boss, it is a certainty that Woozie was responsible for far more crime than we were able to report here tonight. For men such as Woozie, there seemed to exist a vague criminal code of do's and don'ts. However, any meaningful collateral from his actions didn't seem substantial enough in his eyes to warrant a re-examination of his own violent lifestyle. We can only guess at the extent of Woozie and his triad's true criminal history. What makes somebody abandon the civil societal structure of these glorious United States for a life of crime, exploitation, and obscene profits? Is it greed, or perhaps that ever-present motivator which seems to underline so many of the world's most feared criminals? Ego. America is a dangerous place, folks. You can never be sure if that blind guy wandering your local supermarket is actually a highly skilled martial artist gangster prepared to kick you in the neck for the slightest offense. Stay indoors, people, lock your windows, and mark your pastor's phone number as spam just to be safe. I'll see you next time on another exciting edition of Grand Theft Auto Biographies with me, your host, Guinness Walker. Thank you for watching. A special thank you to my executive producer patrons, Mo S. and XX Antitrix Never Sorry 17. Myself and the Weasel News Network greatly appreciate your contributions.